Today we're going to be taking a look at the newest wave of Matchbox collectors. I think this is Mix 2. It featured the Buick Riviera, which I do not have here. I've decided I like the black version better, so I skipped this red one in this mix. Then we got the Porsche Cayenne, the Oldsmobile 442, Toyota Celica, and the Subaru BRZ. The four here we'll be taking a look at. Like I said, do not have the Riviera. Didn't really care for the color. So we're going to start with the only, other than the Riviera, having one prior release. We have the Porsche Cayenne, which has had many, and another one in 2024 in white. But this one is a very interesting green, a very Porsche color. I don't know if there's many other vehicles that can pull a green off like this. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Diecast Car Guru for helping me obtain a few of these. Actually, and then I bought the Celica from Nick. So this one's a group effort. Here we have the box, which is the typical box. Nothing has changed for 2024. And did I already showcase some this year? I don't remember if the Z was. Yeah, I don't remember if the Z was 24 or not. The Z, the 3000 GT, and the Lexus. Well, let's take a look. So yeah, that color is pretty nice. I really like that color, actually. It does have the black wheel flares. I don't think that's entirely necessary. Not to mention it doesn't look really good. I could probably easily remove that, but yeah, I don't think Porsche's had that. But you do get decals like the rest of them, which might make you wonder if this is really worth the $5. We went through this with the 3000 GT. Headlight details, marker lights, grille detailing, which is very subpar. Porsche badge on the front there. The color's really nice, but who's to say they can't do this in the main line? Of course, you do get extra details of the wheel flares here, but I don't think that's accurate. These wouldn't have had black wheel flares. Normally they'd be color matched. You do get detailed exhaust tips, which is something you will not see on the main line. But other than that, everything else is pretty standard. You got your reflector. Oh, I don't think the main line got reflectors either. And I don't have one right here with me. And of course, I wouldn't have gotten this black trim either because they've done the black trim something new they did with this one, which I don't know if I care for it. It's not completely accurate. You got Cayenne in the back, Cayenne Turbo, Porsche across the rear, and really nice taillight details. I guess it is basic level quality detailing, but the lights are really nice. Headlights, taillights, really nice detailing. And of course, you got the full moonroof here because we can't have too much metal. Cayenne Turbo. And then the brand new 5 spokes that debuted on the Lexus LFA last year. They look good. The tires always seem like a rough cut to me. I don't know, but again, if they were completely smooth looking, they wouldn't look accurate. So I guess the roughness kind of helps with the realism, but it just looks weird. Looks kind of weird. Of course, he's going to be off frame for a little bit. Maybe not. We'll get the 442 out of the way. Oldsmobile 442, 1970 model. And they definitely took a page out of Hot Wheels' book because Hot Wheels has the casting was developed to be a donk, and then they turned it into an off-roader. And yeah, Matchbox just continued on with that because we got extremely tiny wheels on this lifted chassis. I don't know how much I care for that. Of course, the real vehicles did sit on the high side, but I think this is exaggerating that. They weren't low to the ground. They had a decent amount of ground clearance, more than sedans do nowadays. Or I guess it's not a sedan, it's a coupe, but that actually drives the point even farther. It's got more ground clearance than coupes would nowadays, but I think they've exaggerated it a little too far here. And this one did not come from Diecast Car Guru. This was my own. This is the only one I could find. And evidently, I missed some messed up decaling on the hood here. Oh well. This is really nicely detailed. You got headlights looking good. Chrome trim around the grill here, which looks like it took a hit as well. I don't know if that's from the same incident. Weird. Markers down below. Lower grill detailing. 442 on the front nose. And are these one of the cars that had like the rubber nose so it didn't get damaged in accidents? I know that was a big thing with GM vehicles back in the 60s and 70s. But oh, you got the rubber nose cones to prevent dents and scratches and all that. Don't know how well it really worked. And wow, look at the rim. I don't know if these are new rims, but look at, you can see the chrome is already like peeling off of it. It's not even covered on the entire edge of the rim there. What the hell, Matchbox? This one's a little better. You can still see the chrome is a little flaky. It's not perfect, and I guarantee if I pick at it, it will come right off. Yeah, this looks like the front wheel. There's, yeah, and the decals are awful. Holy crap. Wow, Matchbox. But look at that. Holy moly. Really nice detailing. I love the blue and the white, but they must have took a quality hit. But they had to have. Everything's detailed beautifully, but it's just that the decals aren't surviving. I like the white interior to match the white stripes on the exterior. Wow, the door doesn't open. Look. Watch. There we go. Oh my god, the video I did with the Nismo GTR is probably one of my more popular videos of the recent batch, I guess, the recent couple of years, and all I did was bash Matchbox Collector's line. And it seems like every time I end up reviewing these, I have to bash them. Because what is this? It's already played with and it just came out of the package. 442 on the trunk, you got taillights. 442/70 on the plate. That's a little, okay, that's not as creative, but that's the least of the problems. Yeah, details are beautiful, but I just don't know what the hell is going on with them. I don't know if these rims are new. I feel like they are. I don't think I've seen them before. I definitely don't have anything with them on there, but it doesn't mean they're not new. It doesn't sit half bad once it's out of the box. I think, yeah, you can see that they drop a little bit when you set it down. It's still not perfect, but I could live with it. I can live with it. It sits higher than the Cayenne. Yeah, I hope we don't have any more problems. I already know there's a problem with the BRZ. And it's not a one-off problem. They're all like this, and I'm gonna complain about it. But let's get through the Celica liftback first. I think this one might be the best. I personally think the proportions are a little weird, but if the decals are actually staying on the model, I will take the win when I can. Oh my goodness. Artwork's amazing though. I love the artwork on that. And oh, forgot to mention, that's a metal base on the Oldsmobile. And I guarantee that the Celica, oh wait. No, Celica gets a plastic base. That's weird. So, okay, the Oldsmobile does have opening doors and a metal base. The Celica has an opening hood. So, oh, it opens the other frontward, doesn't it? Yep. So how come it doesn't have a metal base? Oh, look at that detailing. Very nice engine detailing. They always do good with the engines. I said, whoa. This must have one of those two-stage locks. Yep. Not an error. I'm not going to complain about that. It's a pretty cool feature they've developed. I'm sure it looks simple, but a lot of engineering in that. I like the black bumpers on it. Makes it look a little basic. And, of course, the chrome center cap on the rims helps with that, too. And, wow, look at all this overspray. I guarantee the other side does not look like that. Oh, it does. Oh, holy moly. You can see all those. Well, the hood doesn't. Hood doesn't have it. Oh, yeah, that's because the hoods are painted separately, so you can see the difference in the color, especially at the end here. And then the hood doesn't have any overspray on it, but there's all these black specks. Oh my goodness. Overspray from something. What is going on with the Matchbox collector's vehicles? I would like to know. Chrome detailing looks really nice though. I like the vents on the back here. They look really good. Celica badge on the quarter panel. And your black trim down the side here, which follows the bumpers, I guess. Reflectors. Your tail lights, which are very Mustang-esque. If you don't know, the old Japanese sports cars took their inspiration from the muscle cars, giving them fastback roof lines and even copying the tail lights slightly. And, oh, there's some stuff in the trunk here under the lift back. I have no idea what it is. Yeah, it's a great casting. If anything, it's a little short and stubby. You know, it seems like it's a little short and a little tall. Just gotta stretch it out a little bit. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I can live with it. It's really nice for like a basic first-gen Celica too. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe that's... It probably looks small because all the Celicas we see in Diecast have the big chin spoilers on there, and it kind of gives them the illusion that they're longer than they are. But this one being completely stock, I think it's throwing us off because it doesn't even look like there is bumpers on it because they're so small. But it is a small Japanese vehicle, and I like how they got the size of it compared to the Oldsmobile because this is probably a pretty realistic comparison. Maybe, if anything, this should be smaller. But BRZ time. Where's the Oldsmobile box is up here. BRZ time. And I guess the only really thing I can compare it to is the Tomica. There isn't that many new gen BRZs in like quote unquote cheap diecast. I say cheap as in like sub $10 because there is the Power Race, or no, the Pop Race, not Power Race. Power 64 is not doing a BRZ. I meant Pop Race. And there might be another company. I don't know if Kyosho has dabbled into them yet, or Hobby Japan. Hobby Japan did the 8.6, I think. I don't know if they touched the BRZ. But let's see. Garbage is already full. These packages do take up a lot of space. It's not as bad as I expected. The wheel fitment is questionable sometimes, especially on the rear. I don't like how much it slides like that. This actually isn't... Okay, I expected worse. I expected worse. Of course, Tomica's always going to be better anyway. The Tomica color is extremely more accurate. Like, this is way too silver. Like, the flakes in this are way too silver, way too saturated. If you just dial back the flakes in this, it would have been a lot closer. It's also tiny. Look, oh, it also looks like a Apollo. Not an Apollo, an Alpine. The A110. Yeah, it's giving me vibes on the rear here. Man, look how small it is compared to the Tomica. They're both touching the mat. So let's take a look at it on its own. First of all, I love the headlight details. Those are amazing. Subaru badge on the front there. Chrome detailing on the black grille. And then your side grills. Fog light covers. Like the reflector on the side there. It's a very, I was going to say Japanese thing, but the Hyundai and Kias do that too. So I guess it's an Asian vehicle thing. Your little vent on the front fender there. This does get mirrors. The Celica and the Celica would have had them on the fender. I don't think Matchbox. Well, they did it on the Skyline, so they could have done it. But the Oldsmobile, they did not give mirrors to, probably because they'd be too small. The older cars do tend to have smaller mirrors. Taillights look pretty good, like the shading on there. Subaru badge, BRZ on the back here. Subaru BRZ on the plate. Detailing is lovely on this one. It's not horrible quality like the Oldsmobile. course, this one has the rear wheel fitment issue I already talked about. Yeah, if I can see the entire metal body around the wheel there, that's pretty bad. And of course, when they're fully out like that, it's not bad. Actually, that's pretty stock where it's just in a bit. But when they're fully in there, it's kind of eh. But this thing, that is a metal base. Yes, it is a metal base, which is weird because it looks like the Celica, but the Celica is indefinitely plastic. Very plastic. While the BRZ, metal. You got the new 5 spokes on there, looking pretty good. And yeah, so wheel fitment, I guess, is my biggest complaint on here. I'm not going to say too much on the size of the casting, because what's the Tomica? It's a 160 scale on the Tomica. So if anything, if you want to get 164, you got to be smaller than the Tomica, and Matchbox is. So the Matchbox could actually be extremely close to true 164, which is pretty cool. We'll just get them nice compared to the Tomica. Yeah, they both nailed the detail. The taillights are a bit smaller on the Matchbox, or maybe they're just large on the Tomica. Although, no, because the Matchbox ones aren't fully detailed, because Tomica got all the sides. Tomica got all the sides, Matchbox didn't. They just got the front side. So I can't really compare that. They're both really nicely done, and if you can adjust the fitment on the wheels on the BRZ is gold. So yeah, my expectations were pretty low for the BRZ, and it definitely surpassed them. And I'm quite happy with it, actually. So let me know what you guys think. Which is the best? What's your favorite, I would say. I don't want to say best because there's really no competing against the BRZ. I don't really want to compare the Porsche because it's not a new casting. So compared to the 442, the BRZ, and the Celica, here, how about this? Between the 3 new ones, which is the best casting? Not deco, because, well, yeah, because the deco can be changed. If you don't like the orange on the Celica, or if you don't like the blue color on the BRZ, if it should be darker, don't judge it on that. Just what's the best casting? Do you think the Celica looks weird and stubby? Do you think the Oldsmobile sits too high? I guess the wheel fitment could be considered part of the casting, because they should have made the base spacing here a little wider to accommodate these rims. Tons of things up in the air there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Diecast Car Guru. Bye for now.